we also give it. Imagine now we lived in a world where, let's say now we could understand that, unfortunately, our people had to go through what they went through.
Yeah.
Now we change our energy to be a raw on some like we raw that don't give a fuck about, let's say, their systems, their corporations and so forth. We change the energy. Then we're now in control. There will be consequences. There'll be actions that come from what the choices that we make. Let's say if all black people decide to stop going to work or whatever to fuck up the system. But that energy is the energy that we're in control of, as well as other things of self-understanding. Because you could, like, I know niggas, like when I was working at Lucky's, bro, like there at the fishing shop, bro, like I'll be working there trying to get the most, like, you know. But then there'll be guys coming in. All he'll do is buy his 1 kg of his shad, some wire for his fishing rod, his little 6-pack, and he's happy. Happiness and success is dependent on you and yourself. The problem is we live, as they say, like in the Bible, like when you live within the world. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people that live outside of the world.
Yeah.
So when you live outside of the world, that's where I feel like it's things like self-actualization now. Where you understand yourself and you understand the world for what it is. So you don't need to not necessarily be stressing about white man problems. You know what I'm saying? Where that's now true. You understand there's inner peace within myself. I can die at peace, but then now instead of saying I've lived my life within the system for so long, trying to fight the system, that I died with now leaving my kids having to now fight within the system, when I can teach them a life. Like, that's why I really respect the Amish people, bro, and people who live those kind of lives, because they've consistently chosen to live outside of the world with no influence. What they continue media, TV, I don't know that, and they're happy, content. So as us, we could like, as you were saying, like, it's the kind of thing that we kind of like choose, like, to also, as you said, like, we can say fuck money, but we also choose to get the money too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We could choose that shit. But as I made the example as well, like, the problem is with human beings, because we are human. The shit's here, bro.
The thing about it is that
it's difficult.
Once you fully understand, it is that what you were saying about the kids knowing how to do stuff already. We all know people die, right? And then the soul remains. The body dies. But no one tells you what happens to the soul. Yeah, bro. And then the thing is, what people don't understand is that when you're hurting other people, you're hurting yourself, because you are part of your all. You are God. You are part of all. And we're all one person, if you want to put it like that. So when you're hurting another person, it comes right back at you. So now, that's the problem with this thing, is some people, in the books, they say they fell in love with the worldly things and they got addicted to them. Things such as money. So you'd wonder why someone wants to be a billionaire, trillionaire, whatever. They understand that the shit is eternity. You keep coming back until you elevate, until you get out of this world. So you think it's a lot of people who are being born, it's the same soul.
It's the same soul.
The same soul. And so that's why the energy has never changed. That's why slaves, you get different forms of slavery.
And Lwazi, I always, like, it's every time we say this in a black way, as you would know, everything that's black is demonized, but the same thing can be done by other races, but it's of a different nature. I always say, even ukhulumeni kwethu in black families, ingane when is born, kuumfana noma kuyintombazana, kuba hawu sabona gogo, sabona mkhulu. Because those are the old souls coming back into the new bodies. Uthi uyamfica kuthiwa, hey, ave ngikhumbuza umkhulu, yazi umkhulu wayejwayele ukwenza kanje, yazi umkhulu kabani, yazi ubani bani, abe nama tendencies alowo muntu, because it's that person coming back reincarnated. Uma sekulokho kuthiwa if kuukuthi uyakhupha, and then you go to abantu ababonayo kuthiwa, you're not supposed to do that, because now we're inclined now with religion to something like that. Uma uya kubantu ababonayo bathi wena fanele uyoxolisela umkhulu wakoba. That is you. Uzoxolisela your fuck ups. The fuck up is, with karma, it might not pay you back, man. It will come back 5 lifetimes ahead. Usungizukulu, but that's you.
That's your karma.
But fanele kuyoyiqhebela kuthiwa hambe yohlaba inkomo ngoba wenza ukuthi wenza in ngalesa sikhathi. You fail to see. And then as black people, since we are now clouded with this whole religion thing, especially Christianity, which will demonize ubuwena, taking in essence away lento kade sisho, the blackness in you. So usuyasuka lapho. Ekusukeni lapho awusa-understand manje ukuthi you have to make your chi right. Uphinde ushone, uphinde uqhamuka uzohlupha abani bona abantu balomndeni. Uphinde uhlupha, uphinde uzalo. instead of actually making that chi right while you're in this lifetime usaphila.
Yeah.
Ekuhlupha, uphuphe, uzwe kuthiwa no dreams. That's deja vu. They've got words to make you not realize what it is that you are.
Exactly.
They've got terms, they've got fancy things to make you not realize ubuwena, your true essence and your true nature, in order for you to realize, actually, no, wait. This is how I actually I am supposed to move. Like, uShaka Zulu akazi lutho ngemali, but they lived.
Definitely.
But now when your slogan, let's get this back. Let's get this money.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing I was I actually forgot what I was gonna say. The thing I was saying with once you understand this whole thing, is that once we come back and everything. That's why again, the progression of it is necessary. So the flying cars, the whatever. How I look at the world now, okay, one thing that you must know is that perception, it's all about perception. The reality, you can't tell me anything's real. You are not sure what I see is what you see. Also, regarding the dreams, because what you dream at night doesn't mean it's
just
real.
a dream.
You just decided to live in the day, sleep at night. You could have done the other way, whatever, you could have done it. So the thing about now this TV, what you see at night is darkness. That means it changes the color of things. And now it doesn't mean that thing is still blue once it's dark and it's not blue anymore. It's the color that it is. Yeah. So now the progression of things is necessary. We must make these things, these phones, whatever, because this is what we are. We create. So the flying cars, the internet connection, whatever, all these things that we are doing are necessary. But the suffering for it, the money thing that you've put on it, that is not what life is about.
As it was,
progression.
That's Emmanuel Descartes. It's a philosopher. I was so fortunate. Thank God I chose. My undergrad degree was politics, philosophy, and law, and then I decided to just branch off. I just fell in love with philosophy, and one of the courses that were there was ways of thinking. It exactly preaches to that exact same thing. What you see and what you think and perception, it's all dependent upon that person, and nobody's right upon anything. It makes there's an example he uses of candle wax, where the fact that it's now no longer in that and has burnt down, does it now change from the fact that it's now a candle? Is it now not a candle because now it's
changed the form?
It's changed its form. So many things about am I a thinking thing? I am because I think. Because I think, I am. That's how I know I exist, because I think. He questions so many things that okay, what's going on? There's a black and this is all like this. And these things make you actually start thinking and questioning things. Socrates will come through with his own theory. And you're like, wait a minute. What? Theories that you yourself will make you start thinking, the way I used to think when I was this age, and you think about yourself, if only I knew then what I know now. Because so many things could, if people could learn philosophy from the small ages, from primary school, philosophy is just introduced into the schooling system. Racism would not even exist, because it would not have power. It will not have anything, because just because you see black, just because you see white, what makes you think what is superior? There's only one race, the human race. Everything else was demarcated by every other person. And the fact that this is black, nothing is. Nothing is.
The thing about it is that you then question the movies.
No, the movies tell the truth.
No.
And they tell us, no, it's a movie. So we shouldn't
exactly.
The first cell phone I saw was in a movie.
Anything that you see,
the
alien shit, the first
cell phone I saw was in a movie. Cell phone.
Those hovering cars,
a talking car,
all that shit.
Talking car. Michael Dudukov.
Now you can talk to your Mercs.
You talk to your phones now.
The new Mercedes,
the Mercedes,
they're like the I robot shit. That thing. So it's like, this is what the world is. There are people who see the future or whatever.
No, they don't see the future. The mind can never comprehend something it has never seen before. Do you understand that?
In my opinion, it's not with that. It's like everything Okay, I feel like, okay, let's say we're going into the Bible with it, right? The Bible states, okay, like, we are not of this earth, innit? You know what I'm saying? So even within our creation, I feel like the ancient civilizations, your Anunnaki, your Mayans, your Aztecs and so forth, right? They laid down blueprints because, like, when I came to discover, okay, Da Vinci actually drew the blueprints for the helicopter, the submachine gun, the light machine gun, and as well as the pistol, right? In the 1500s, when he didn't have the technology. Now, going back to the topic of reincarnation, my brother made those things. He drew that shit knowing there's gonna be a time when niggas can make this shit in the future, because he could see, okay, through the developments of history and time, we're actually finding the materials for these things, which goes against, say, okay, maybe Da Vinci came back, made his shit as the Wright brothers and made things. But then it could be like, in my mind, everything, bro, like, either is taken from the original inhabitants of this earth, which, in my opinion, could be our creators. You know what I'm saying? Because, in my opinion, the whole thing of God and the lineage of it all, right? I feel like God within itself, as they say in the Bible, he's a spirit, he's energy, right? And energy, he is the source of all energy. And then he demarcates different, like, zones for different gods and different places, right? So we are in this zone of Earth. Because even if you look at space, the multiverse theory, string theory, everything according to those lines, it's like, we're like, we're basically South Africa in a world full of infinite countries, you know what I'm saying? So within our demarcation, we have like our God. And then our God is basically the instructor of everything. He laid out all the information, said, guys, okay, because if now we cry about having electricity now, when the Egyptians had that shit 2,000 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So clearly, electricity ain't new. Like, Thomas Edison didn't do shit, you know what I'm saying? So there's all of that, bro.
I think, can we put me up on this? They see the future. The thing is, this life is already happening. Everything is already happening. And we're just going.
So there's nothing new.
We are always chasing ourselves, our
thoughts.
Our thoughts. Because these guys are going to create these movies and whatever. And it's going to become reality. And what people don't then understand is that everything that you create everything in your head. So when right now you're trying to get like your music career to pop, you rush this. You don't understand that take time every day to create your reality.
And already you're gonna blow probably at the age of 40.
Exactly.
Now you're frustrated at 23, dying.
So now, if you can create everything every single day, you do it with small things like I'm thinking of going to town tomorrow. Then you see yourself going to town. Then you wake up and go to town. I'm thinking of getting some alcohol. Then we have some like you see it, and then you go and get it. But now when it comes to bigger dreams and bigger things, you find out with that, or you don't entertain it. You don't
think it's not possible.
Then it's not possible. And what you need to understand is that as you exist in the all, you can't have limitations with your thoughts. Who deserves a private jet? Who must have a private jet? If that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. That's what you need.
Facts.
So it's like, once you really understand what you are as a human and how you use this thing, if this thing has happened before, there's an easier way of going about life.
Facts.
Yeah, because we all were created for a certain purpose, in an essence where not all of us were meant to be in private jets. If we were, who was going to be on the ground? You know, so the moment people actually realize within themselves what they want to be, I always say within myself, I mean, I'm by the way, the president of South Africa in a couple of years. You guys are going to vote for me in the essence of when I was born. It's something that I won't say I learned it but as I got to my schooling and I realized, nah fam, I actually like this part of life. You see, I like social development. I like seeing people work within units that make other communities thrive. I like seeing that within itself. And I can see right now that there's a gap, because why? The essence of Ubuntu is now so drawn away from Africa because of other cultures that are just coming here to destabilize us from actually realizing our purpose and power. The moment I, as the president, first thing I'm doing, calling upon all my other African presidents, make me understand within your nation what made your nation great. Tell me an era before colonization that made your people great. Let's study that formula. Let's rework it to actually understand why are we are the producers of everything raw material. How can we want aid from countries that have so little to give? How? How do we look upon people who have nothing? When we have uto, but we don't actually realize. These schools, these governments, all of these things that are thrown upon us, these flashy lifestyles, all of these things are to distract you from actually realizing the black greatness that was within you. That's why for every civilization, for every time in history, we'll forever learn. The black person. Why? Ask yourself, why is it that like a species would work so hard?
The key thing about that, black people are the ones who are suffering because of the melanin.
Yes.
Once you understand what melanin is, you
Bro,
understand
I actually found out that shit. I actually was doing some research. I found out that shit actually is a currency. Like,
it's a currency.
Yeah.
Value.
It's a value.
Imagine these people when they're in power and now they know that shit, that melanin shit.
Yeah.
Be some shit.
You are born. We are
and
born
then now
with
they
it.
are constantly trying to fucking keep you away from
From
realizing.
realizing.
like,
Yeah.
So
your
now,
power.
bro, Tina, when we got like our first shit, for example, Tina, we experienced like a life of money type of thing. We can say that. The alcohol, the whatever, the
distractions.
The distractions. I don't know, how really we got to the point of
Calming down and just
down, but it was through observation actually. I ain't gay.
Why?
Just trying to make sense of stuff.
Like, what's better in that? Because, like, wild shit would happen, bro. Like, really wild things. And you're just like, fuck. Once you talk about them, actually. Okay, so this weekend, you lost your phone. You lost your phone.
You did this.
You were drunk and this. I was just like, okay.
But it all boils down to that whole thing of the melanin. The power of the melanin is so real that wherever it is that you see a concentrate of that melanin, you will see every second corner there's a bottle store, there's a tavern.
Yeah.
Every second corner. How many things of recreation are there within these areas? How many things of sport? How many things? Internet. But where the melanin is less saturated la ayikho ne uma usuyafika kulezo indawo if ufuna utshwala fanele kuya bottle store and mulapha kulo bottle store uye tops angeke ukwazi ukungena una 16 angeke ukwazi ukuthi ume lapha ekhoneni leselentuzeni eShelly Beach unike omunye umuntu oseceleni omdala onganaso ozokuphetha nawe uzithengele i6 nami ungithengele into ukuthi athengele izingane zesikole ezisafake utie we uniform. You can't do that in Shelly Beach because number one onayo indawo yokuthi uyenze leyo nto. Every other corner bona bana library, Wi-Fi, baneyindawo tennis courts, swimming. Yabo nje izinto zokwenza recreation. Unlike izikole abaya kuzona already don't have enough things to distract them because the only reason why black people and black men most especially are at the mercy of your alcohol drugs is the fact that they have so much time.
Yeah, and once you understand what alcohol does to you, you'll understand why it's like that. When you understand why, like what being active does to your body, how it balances things in your body, how it makes you, you'll understand why it's like that.
Exactly.
So, so that's why I'm saying all the answers are in the book. So if you're gonna think about the last time, okay, not specifically you, but the last time you learned something was probably back in university. And the rest of the time you've been trying to get a job, then you expect to know more. It doesn't make sense.
Unfortunately, that's how most things work. But because I did philosophy, I'm fortunate not to have thought in that essence of saying, okay, fam, I'm trying to get a job, and they've taught me in actual essence. I myself have skills. My mom I'm fortunate to have a mother who taught you whether you liked it or not to use your hands. So when I didn't get the job, while kuyimanje ngiyakwazi ukuyiphilisa because I can use my hands.
Yeah.
Ngiyakwazi ukuyisebenzela mina. I can move with the business. I can live. I can thrive. I'm not working on lama degree up is that collecting dust over there.
I
But the moment
I understand. That's why even why some niggas be getting into the trap and shit, bro.
Exactly.
Because of the sense of like at the end of the day, like you gotta find a way to make a means to
to
just to
live.
kill time.
Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
as that saying even says, like idle hands do the devil's work.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
You got
you
time.
gotta find a way to do something like with your time, maybe like that you have.
Another key thing is we all get money. It's all about what do you do.
What do you do with
the
your
money.
money? Yeah.
And so like I was saying for us, like at the clubs, bro, like we were going wild, bro.
Yeah.
Back wild.
Hard, man.
Back wild at the clubs. And it got to a point where at the club, Shambe Sophie, abantu bahleli at the table, and then we are so known there.
People
Those
get
are-
removed.
So now, please can you guys sit over there? Kuna thina sohlala lapha. And then this
That's
is type of shit
cause
we get the
Because that's where you usually sit.
Bro,
I
I
already
know
know what you're
what's
drinking.
Bro, they already know
Yeah.
you're gonna have the usual whatever. You spend the 10K, you spend the 15K. They get the girls hostess. They want to live that life, that life.
all
And
the
how
distractions.
And
so
you feel
now-
powerful when all that is
Yeah,
happening.
but
Yeah,
in
when you're-
essence,
when you're in
there's
the club,
no
there's
as like a-
whatsoever.
So now it's like in your life there is no progression, but you're just maintaining this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what was happening at that time.
Yeah.
And then it's been probably 5-6 months, no alcohol ever since. And then we actually progressing now. We're going forward. So even with other shit like who went to get alcohol, the thing about the both guys have to read because they have to practical.
Line that shit up, bro.
Outwitting the devil, Master Key System, the Kabbalah, and a lot of other shit. But the thing about habits, of which alcohol in this case, habits are hammered, comes in pairs, quadruples, or whatever. But
They
if you
invite
drink
other
alcohol,
habits.
you do a lot of other shit. Yeah, well, so now you don't lose the 15K from the bill only. You lose a whole lot of other shit.
Yeah, petrol.
With that one thing, because of that one habit, everything. So now everything is intellect like that. So once you get your habit straight, or at least one habit can invite a lot of other shit.
That's why I've been
Good
saying
things.
to niggas, like, for example, like, if now, like, the easiest one, bro, which is just like the gym. Going to the gym, having that routine, knowing
Yeah.
every day 3 o'clock will invite other forms of routine into your life, other forms of discipline into your life, other
Yeah.
forms of this and that. Going back again to the whole thing of, we just gotta know that shit, bro. Because, yo,
Teach our kids this.
Yeah, teach our, like, being responsible for.
I'm such a firm believer in early childhood development. Like, I feel like this whole, we as Africans are placed at a point where faneke ingane zethu zidevelop later on in life. What nonsense is this? Ukuthi ingane faneke ibe na 7 ungene esikoleni when you've seen how bright our 3-year-olds are.
Yeah.
You get 3-year-olds that are so brilliant that you would rather be like, okay, listen, let's get these children started. Uthi uyamfica umuntu by the age of 12 already usayazi career yakhe ukuthi yakuphi. You don't need to be ukuthi uyofuna umatric kubeka 18. Life can literally start at an earlier age. Ukuthi impilo yakho by the time you're 21 you're already someone who knows how to make money. Uyazi ukuthi une bank account uyasebenza ukuthi because school is basically a living in progress type of thing. Sikufundisa ukuphila, sikufundisa ukwazi ukuthi
and
wena
also like
uziphilise
wouldn't it
ekuphileni
make
kwakho.
like more sense, like even like with like the watchmakers of before, like niggas who work for like your Hublots and your Audemars and them niggas there, like that watchmaker would only like earn his mastery in watchmaking after like 50 years of experience. Same thing with like your kung fu and that. Yeah, I could do karate for like 6 years and get my black belt,
Yeah.
but I'm only gonna actually have the knowledge of a black belt like after like 20 years of being a black belt. So I think with the education system, it's mad dumb to like expect me like for all my life it's mainly theory. I'm not really doing anything. I'm just reading a whole bunch of shit. And then when I'm old, you need to expect me to do
Practical.
shit. When we should have brought up in like from the get go, like okay,
Practical.
like for like let's say your doctors, your whatever, like whatever your skill is, like my nigga, you go ham with that shit from early because I've been looking at these your Steve Harvey's shows when he invites all these brilliant kids and so forth, and you'll see some like 12-year-old Indian kid who's like an Einstein in man.
Killing
but
it.
that's
Yeah.
because like from when he was like 3 years old, able to be conscious enough to understand. Already his parents just had him on that shit. So from like as I was saying to like to her like her sister just got a kid right now. You know what I'm saying? Little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Bro, the minute that little motherfucker he can step on his own 2 feet. He's Project Mbappe right now. Because same with Mbappe, dog. Mbappe's parents started that little nigga from early.
Exactly.
Now it's not a surprise that he's one of the
19,
youngest cats.
Yeah.
Dog.
And when you're a kid, you grasp things
Very
Yeah.
much.
Bro,
That's
yeah.
why
and
early childhood
they
development
pick up on the
is
technology real quick.
Yeah.
Real
Where
quick,
the
bro,
world
yeah.
phones
Even
and the TikToks
languages,
and
like
stuff, you know.
why
From
is
yeah,
it
from a
that
lot of things.
why
yeah.
is it that schooling system mina boom, okay, we are at the age of 3, you're already inside school. This is my schooling system where languages. You learn which languages? You learn African languages so that you know how to communicate in French with your nigga right here next door with border. You know how to communicate in Portuguese with your nigga right here with border. We understand each other because I think the one thing that they pass at is to divide and conquer. The more we don't understand each other, the more we don't see the point.
I won't even lie. I feel like I've learned that
Yes,
outside of school, in school.
we would rather but we invite a Chinese person to come sit next to us, invite a Pakistan person to come sit next to us, but the moment a Zimbabwean comes through, we say
It's a problem.
mainly because of what? Language barrier.
The thing about
Teach them
that
languages.
is that is facts. Divide and conquer. That's the mandate. Now, when you're looking at in countries like that, that's the first phase of it. Then you get into the black and white, and then live that. Then it's in the black people. Now all of a sudden there's a thing between Xhosa and
Xhosa, exactly. Ethnic wars.
And
It's pushed.
now we have the pandemic and shit like that.
Yeah.
Now kids are literally separated in class.
In class, yeah.
You know what that
it's
shit
a
is
separate.
gonna
It's
do?
a breakdown.
They're gonna have-
Psychological
Yes, we're going
breakdown.
into the
Even-
4th industrial revolution, and people don't realize this. It's a manipulation, guys. It's all a manipulation by these governments trying to push the mandates that they could push. First industrial revolution, bombs. Second industrial revolution.
By the way,
bombs.
none of you
Third
niggas come
industrial
try to
revolution,
assassinate
bombs.
me
But
for
you
this.
cannot bomb us now.
I ain't trying to,
Fair.
like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like,
we
good
see it.
affairs,
Come
like,
back.
you know
No,
what
we
I'm
see
saying?
it.
I ain't
We see
trying to, like, I'm just saying, I'm
We
just
see
seeing
it.
what's going
No,
on.
in
I'm just saying,
all
yo,
honesty,
you niggas
we
on the
can
camera,
joke about it,
watching
but most
shit,
people
like,
who speak like this die.
don't,
The moment a black person
go.
tries to
You know what I'm
conscientize
saying?
other black
I'm
people,
just
they
saying,
die.
I wasn't part of this
Going
conversation. I was just here for the vibes. You know,
For the
I ain't
vibe.
trying
That's fact. That's fact. Like people die. Like,
Now they
people
do.
really die.
They
And
do.
at this point, Mina, like I think I have finally understood what life is and everything. I'm not scared.
I'm not
bro.
scared.
Yeah, you can't be
Yeah.
I'm
scared.
not
Yeah,
scared because
yeah.
now I know this thing. There's another book that goes to teach you how to get ladies in dog or MacBook lab whatever. I know that shit, bro.
Pass me that shit.
Pass me that shit.
Bro, as a human, as your energy, everything. For example, everything is moving.
Yeah.
Everything is moving right now. Everything is vibrating. Yeah, bro. You are energy. And then now when you're looking at the electricity part of it, the positive and negative, how that shit, when the positive and negative clash, they create. And it's just like how you jumpstart a car.
Yeah.
So in everything, when you get the positive and they create. When you lack in negative or whatever, when you touch something that is steel or whatever, you get the shock, the electromagnetic the shock, because you're lacking one of the two.
Yeah.
No, you're actually lacking the negative. Now, this thing is, all these worldly things, you can attract them to you using those vibrations. You can be like a magnet to get these things, and if you really, really focus on it, if you really come here and really create in the clear head, really create, you can get all these things. Yeah, bro. So now it's like, I know for sure I'm gonna get everything I have said I'm gonna get. Because since 2018, 2019, everything I write down on my goals and shit like that, I smashed them out the park. Yeah, well, to a point where it really got to that, we started to look into this thing, and better what's happening, because the writing of goals thing was just like, something you do, but then you work, and then you really get everything. You're just like, oh shit, okay, what's happening here? And then once you went into the understanding of what really it be like that, like that's you'd hear Tony Williams did what's he, and he took a picture of a
A
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
A black one, whatever. I parked outside of a restaurant, Tizeni, wada. And then, yeah, that was that. He couldn't afford it at that time. He was just there. Then the guy came.
Who owns it?
Who owns the car. They had a conversation. I like your car, whatever. I said, yeah, nice thing of taking your gas in Lamborghini and selling the car, whatever. He's going to get another one, whatever. Okay, fast forward a couple of years later, the nigga goes to Lamborghini. And uti their motor there, the reason he likes it so much, the guy made it exactly how he would make it. Yeah, well, so now years later, fast forward, he goes to Lamborghini, he buys a Lamborghini, and then he drives a Lamborghini out the lot, and then years later, now he's scrolling down his pictures, whatever, he sees this Lamborghini, he's like, oh shit, this is the same Lamborghini. This is exactly the same. He calls the dealership, yo, who owns this Lamborghini before the plate is the same one that he has on his phone. He bought the Lamborghini from that he sold at
that
Futhi was in
time.
a different country
Yeah,
at that time. Bro,
The
and
law
he
of
got that.
attraction,
So
yeah.
when people talk about the vision boards, you think it's
So whatever thing.
when you wake up and you see what you want every day, you think
It's even as like when I was really into Conor McGregor like during his come up, you know what I'm saying? I really looked into him, and one thing that he constantly used to talk about was like obsessing over like what you want.
Yeah.
So he obsessed about being like the number one top paid UFC fighter in the world. And he carried that energy. He walked around with that big dick energy, like, yo, it's me. You know what I'm saying? Until the point where he got there, because like from his fights from like 2014 when he like began to make a name for himself, he had that same energy.
Yeah.
Until he was the Conor McGregor that he is now. So as they always say, like, what you think is what you shall become. You know what I'm saying? And I thought,
Consistency.
yeah, and obviously being
Yeah.
consistent. Like you wake up every day, you gonna say stuff. Okay, I'm trying to, as you said, you tell yourself, if I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's also like the follow through as well. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna wake up
definitely.
and be like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna go town because I need to get, let's say, a new charger for my MacBook so I can continue my podcast.
Yeah.
Then you wake up and then life presents you with the choice to do those things. Most people, I feel like, they don't follow through with the choices they originally made, and then fall behind the excuse of life. You know what I'm saying? Because there's something that I learned in economics called opportunity cost, where you forgo one thing for something else. So you know, okay, I gotta go to the gym today, but Loaz is having a party at the crib.
Yeah.
Let me go to Loaz's party, and whatever you do, whichever path you go down, there's a different result for each one. You know what I'm saying?
there's a
Not to
result.
say anything's good or anything's bad, because good or bad is dependent on you yourself as
Yeah.
an individual.
Yeah.
What do you
there's
wanna-
nothing- Yeah, what you want.
yeah.
So the main thing is, it's like even me myself, I'll know, okay, boom, I gotta go to the studio tomorrow, record a song. But when that choice comes, at that time, I don't follow through.
Yeah.
And then now I'm gonna say, no, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When in instance, it's the choices that you make shape up. That's why like parents always just say that thing of, show me your friends, I'll show you your future, because your friends also influence your choices
Yeah.
that you make.
Bro,
You know what I'm saying?
These books are gonna hit. You're gonna get exactly what
That's what I'm saying, because I've always said to people, like, even in a sense, like, who you have around with you, like, as the saying says, like, doctors chill with doctors, lawyers chill with lawyers, football players chill with football players. You know what I'm saying? You have to fly with the same flock of birds for you to like be able to flourish and grow. Because if you have aspirations of making this money, but you're always around broke people who continuously choose to make choices that keep them broke, and literally have no aspirations but choose to be broke, then it's not long until you will be broke too. But now if you're consistently in an environment where you're around money getters, go-getters, hustlers, people who wake up and go get it, you know what I'm saying? You'll know that man says, okay, I've got 10k, I could buy a PlayStation, but I'm going to invest this money into so forth.
Yeah.
You hang around people who have those kind of mindsets, then your life will progress. But now if you hang around niggas where you know, yo, I literally just made 25k and your nigga going to say to you, bro, let's go to the club today. Don't be surprised. You know what I'm saying? Why shit goes left for you now? Because you're making the wrong choices there. But it's all on how you see it. Now, someone may look at me and say, "No, Felix don't know what the fuck he's talking about, though." But trust me, I've been in that situation. Cause I said to myself, I got friends like who were mad ballers, bro, mad ballers. Like the type of niggas say, hold this 25k for yourself in the club, you know what I'm saying, and see what you do with that shit, you know what I'm saying. And you'll be like, okay, yo, that's crazy. But then you'll be asking to yourself, okay, in a situation where I need something of benefit. Let's say me, okay, I'm trying to make a music video and put and like have like a marketing campaign for that shit. You know the works. Niggas wouldn't necessarily
They
be
will
there for
never
that.
give you
know
that
what I'm saying?
25K.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the choice of now, I say to myself, okay, and there were like, as I know, there's things that I had went through because of choosing to be with these niggas or choosing to chill with these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I had no so to myself, okay, choosing to be with you, the only benefit is a good time, but it comes with so many problems.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's gonna lead to something.
It's gonna lead some. So the choices now, and obviously at the end of the day, as you said, fam, like you envision the shit, you know where you're heading in life. You know the things that are gonna come to you. That's why, like, I look at most of my niggas that pull up in Porsches and all these fly beamers, and I say, okay, right now you got it quick because you cracked your formula that worked for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna crack mine and so forth. But within that, like, I like to have them around me. Because they keep me in that spirit of hustling. Because there was a time where literally I was chilling with them, and then I went to another group of my niggas, right? And like, obviously they're in different circumstances, but from the conversation, my guy, that we were just having, literally the conversation I left there, we were just chilling like this, and niggas are talking about, yo, how we gonna make the next move? Okay, bro, I got this in my
exactly.
When I went back to my other niggas are talking about bitches.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I was sat there literally
You feel
smoking,
lost.
and
You
I'm
feel
like,
lost.
is this a flex to you guys? You guys are like really talking about bitches like it's like, yo, bro, like I got 10 bitches on my neck, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But then when I left my other niggas, they were literally on that shit like, yo, bro, I'm trying to cop this property so I can get this. And I'm thinking, I need to chill with these niggas more because they're gonna set me on a path that makes sense. But if I chill with my niggas, his only concern is, yo, bro, last night I was in the club and two bitches sucked my dick. Like, what's that gonna do for us, bro? There still ain't no
Then
bread in the
what?
fridge, dog.
The dope thing is that like you already see this just from observing. So what the books are gonna do for you is just to certify certain things, and then once you really have that shit certified, you never have a distraction. Basically, that was to a point where. Okay, fine.
But as it was, sometimes I've noticed through life that there are so many things that I've gotten from books, but most of the things that, as you're saying now, when you read the books, you actually realize it's things that you've learned through life. Like experience with people and an actual observation about the interaction between relationships of people, not just the relationships I have with people, but relationships people have with each other, teach you so much, especially about when. I've realized that there are certain things that people do that you will be quiet about, and you will be fine within yourself thinking, good, no, because I'm not the one who's doing the action, then I'm fine. But ukula wami, experience actually made me see my being quiet, I'm actually also a catalyst. I'm also
playing
someone who I play a part to lezinto ukuthi zenzeke by my silencing myself. So life is all about, in an essence of into imi wrong. We are come off a time where everyone is so sensitive. Everyone, no, you can't say this. You can't say that. When people blatantly are just so offensive in everything that they do. No. You can't say this. This hurts this demographic. When you actually know, you actually get into the gist of things. Okay, now we have to find words in alphabet in order to run away from actually saying the truth. Why is it that we cannot be direct with one another? Because there are societies that paint everything. You say, oh no, but you can't say that. In an actual essence of me as a black person, down because I can't do the things that I want to do. Go SPCA, through these things. My neighbors will call SPCA after I've went through going myself to tell SPCA I'm there. They will call them, they will come through, what are you doing here? What to supervise, and then you actually say, okay, we live in a life where you are supposed to be tolerable of one another. We live in a nation where we are all siyazwana. We are supposed to have tolerance for one another and actually promote one another's living, when in actual reality zonke lezi zinto azenzeki in actual real life. When you realize ukuthi ukuphatha umuntu in essence khona lento ngaphakathi, something you can lie to everybody else, you can even try to lie to yourself, but yona isho kahle yabo lento yenzayo.
It's fucked up.
Yabo lento yenzayo ayisile. Yeah, but you don't need a parent there to tell you that. You don't need a friend there to tell you that. You don't need anyone. Everything in essence is something that's within you, and it's a choice. And when you make those choices, some people are of the nature of, after the choice is made, and now the shitstorm is just playing out. Sekuyena victim ke manje, sekuyena usema kanje akasazi ukuthi kwenzakalani. However, why is it that things are playing out like this? Failing to take account of into wena ubulapho. You could have learned from other people's mistakes. Uhlala nathi kanje, uhlala sonke nanani. Umiselo does something wrong, but no, uzoqhubeka. Ulandele lento umiselo kade yenza, because why? You want to learn from your own mistakes, which is what life is. But you can't learn from the mistakes of others. He jumped there, he got hurt. You know which when you jump there you get hurt, but no, you still want to go jump so that you go, I got hurt too. Okay, tick.
I'd say the reason why the books are important though is like, in the sense of like, as we were saying, in the conversation we had the other day, where before there were like books within our people, we were obviously like a people of stories and knowledge, and we speak our shit. Definitely. But obviously like there came a time where like, let's say like, hey dog, what if like there were like a generation of like deaf people or something, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro, like niggas couldn't hear shit, you know? Yeah. So obviously they had to now write shit down, you know? So it's like a cooking book, like a recipe. Yeah. Knowledge is also like a recipe of life, you know what I'm saying? To say that these things are, yes, you can go through them and you can experience them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then also this shit is here, like say now for example of like me, I can pick up a Glock 40, and if I shoot that shit every day for a week, my aim would get better by the end of the week. But there's a prescribed text that says, hey yo bro, if you hold it like this, then maybe in your first 3 shots you could be more accurate. So the knowledge in itself, that's why experience and knowledge go hand in hand, you know what I'm saying? Because you need these knowledges. That's why like your Warren Buffett's, your Bill Gates, they go to these billionaire schools that also give them the knowledge, as probably like, which is the like your law of attractions and so forth, your the balancing of your energies and so forth, to put them in line with the right frequencies, to bring in all this shit to them, you know what I'm saying? Literally, that's the knowledge that they know. But for us, they'll just like simplify us and just tell us about glucose and trans fats and shit, which, okay, mine information, but it's all that knowledge there, so you know, okay, boom, like literally, if now I have like a 30-day calendar and I say on the 28th day of this month, my guy, I will accumulate 5,000 rand. Within those 27 days, your mind will subconsciously do everything by itself. You'll find yourself all of a sudden, now you got a job. You didn't even know how you had a job. You just told yourself, I want 5,000 rand. But you end up doing it all yourself. But then our problem is that our society and our conditioning has made us so conditioned that, let's say you say to yourself, okay, I want an iPhone 11. You know what I'm saying? The first thing you think of is, fuck, how am I going to get iPhone 11? I ain't got that money. But instead of the focus being on, I'm getting iPhone 11. Like, well, white people, most thing I've really noticed from them is, they'll raw see you like a shit like, yo, I want a fucking Bugatti, dog. Like Scott Disick, case in point. That nigga was broke as shit. Literally says himself, I'm gonna own him like a multi-million-dollar company. You know what I'm saying? Told himself that shit when he was broke. Somehow, somewhere, he just went for that. Bro. With all of us, like your LeBron Jameses, nigga was piss poor playing ball and told himself, I'm gonna be the best baller. Kobe, Michael Jordan, that my name will be there.
These things are in front of us.
They're in front of you, and you just need to, obviously, as you were saying, the law of attraction, the frequencies, get your energy right. So when your energy's right, you like life automatically aligns you towards those things. So LeBron could have never had time gang banging with his niggas because he was so focused on being a baller that he woke up, he was breathing ball, he was sleeping ball. That when opportunity came to be doing other shit, his mind couldn't even register that. So when niggas will say, except though there's a party on Friday, gonna be a hell of bitches there, he knows I got training on Friday with the niggas. He can't even make that choice because his mind is so focused on where he's going. You know what I'm saying? So most of us, I feel like once we get our energy right and our frequency right, then we will end up going down, continue, because like you know, like you felt that thing where you can feel like, I kind of feel like I'm off my path now. Like my energy, my frequency don't feel right.
You're not
I feel
balanced.
Like,
You're balanced.
Balance your shit. Maybe now I should try some of this yoga shit myself.
You should, definitely.
100%.
It's the
I really want to.
It's really important.
It's reading.
the main thing is that in all that you do is just remember to balance your body, your mind, and your spirit. Yeah, bro. So you can't chase the money, you can get the money, balance your mind and your spirit as well. Because there are rich people who don't have their spirit balanced, and then that's why we get so many missing children in the world. And people really what can you do with so many people? Like there are a lot of missing people.
Kids.
What kids? Prostitution, you can only go so far, hey? So the thing is that what really happens
with those
why would they kill the Jeffrey Ban guy and say he committed suicide? Because it's just like sometimes you must really look into these things.
So, like truth is stranger than fiction. Like if you really look at things aren't as really as they are painted. Things aren't as they seem. Nothing is all.
I heard something about the child trafficking thing. So apparently,
Epstein.
The spinal fluid of a child is like an immortality serum or some shit. I don't know if
you're on the right track. You're definitely on the right track.
It goes with energy, bro. Like, so what happens with humans is that you have low entities. Low frequency. What are they?
It's basically like low
entities.
Low entities.
Low entities, and those you can be a lower entity but be a billionaire. And then you can be when a child is born like that. That's a lot of energy, fresh and everything like that. So like as you're growing, when you so what happens to your brain is that the the unused space of the human brain is used by the devil, basically. So now when as a child you don't develop that negativity that controls your brain. So you have a lot of positive and think everything is possible, everything is real.
As a kid.
Nothing is fake and whatever. And
you're vibrating at a high.
At a high, basically, and the world depletes it as you get older.
And you actually believe the stuff.
So
it's that you're on the right track. Like Ingane can get on a table, believe that they can fly.
We're fearless.
There's nothing obstructing that feeling. So the energy, they're vibrating on a high. So like you can feed off someone's energy.
Basically.
Feed off someone's energy for your
for example,
high
that's exactly what happens. What people do, once you're on your part, I see you pushing your music thing, bro. I'll always come at you and like, yo, let's try this drug. Let's try this drug. I mean, I'm a lower entity trying to bring you down. And when you are suffering, I get the boost. Yeah, well, that's what a lot of people do. Now you can imagine that in a lot of other cases. But energy is transferred. Yeah, well, so a lot of people take energy out of other people. So you must really look at the people that you chill with. Type of
that's facts.
So now when you link the billionaire things and the kids, you join the dots, nigga.
Yeah, that's why they all have these schools. We're starting schools. We're gonna do this.
All those vibes. So it's
them vibes.
So even in this sense, like on a with us on a day-to-day, the people that you chill with and you see it's okay. What energy? What woman made them not feeling your vibe?
That's
an actual vibration.
Vibration.
I'm not.
When we're talking about brain waves, when you're not on the same wavelength, people say these things, they don't know
what they mean.
They don't know what they mean.
Wavelengths are actually the different wavelengths of your brain when you are talking or when you're sleeping, when you're meditating, or when you those are wavelengths that is
that's the manipulation of everything.
So when I'm telling you we're not in the same wavelength, so even everything that we communicate on a day-to-day, this lingo is there. You don't even know what it means.
It's codes.
It's codes.
Codes.
The power of their ascension into this whole super being is through the fact that we wonder how music has power. I've always noticed it with music. Music has such power because you can have a group of about 100,000 people chanting things that some of them don't even understand.
Exactly. And when you
taking out an energy into the universe. Yacabanga ukuthi leso stadium sigcwele kanje of people and souls singing
Saying
from
one,
a
yeah.
core. When bengazi ukuthi bathini abanye babo, to an extent where there are certain words in certain songs by these artists that we know that will glorify certain things of a devilish nature, and then they'll say, "Nah, we're going to this whole Illuminati shit." No, it's just the thing is, if it's brought to us, it's not like we're not gonna pay attention to it, and then we actually look at it. Nah, fam, nah. Like how the word anti is not registered in the world. There's no such thing as the word anti. So whenever these anti-gun laws, anti-women abuse, anti-racism, what you are chanting actually into the universe is racism, gun laws, this. So the moment you say, like right now, this whole Black Lives Matter thing, if you've seen like so many of these companies, and Misolo made me realize all these companies have such backing with these anti-gun laws, anti-what, especially even the billionaire celebrities, the people with influence. The they are there. But now with this whole Black Lives Matter thing, where are they? Because now we're no longer saying anti, we're now placing it into the universe that, Black Lives Matter. You're taking out that energy. Now you're starting to see this thing starting to shift. I'm anti-racist things, but you've never seen the whole world shook like this. This one movement has shaken it to an extent. Now they're starting to come up with things that are saying abantu abaqala le movement bapromota ezinye izinto eziseceleni kuyizona ezingcolile bazama ukuthi to take away from the essence of that thing of no, bruh. We actually trying to tell you that black people are being killed. Black people have it's something that's of errors where black people are supposed to be stifled to an extent that they don't realize their greatness. And now that black people are coming to the fruition, we are now being conscientized like this. Tina, I guarantee you we will not live long with this mentality. In the world we live in, no, yes. We
will. Things are really changing.
In the world we live in, it's either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It's the truth.
Yeah.
You see it.
You evolve.
Yes, because they will throw away. Yabo imagine nje basikhuluma ngemali. Ngiyakutshela izoba attracted to us ifike ibe amabhakede kanjani. To take away what? Your essence, your true nature. You don't now balance with the people. Mina kade ngithanda social development. Sengikanjani ngiseDubai ngiphila emoyeni engayazi. Ama heavens that we don't know, which is actually the actual promise of the funny part where religion comes in as ukubamba ikutshela ukuthi when do not look upon your riches while you are still living on earth, because your riches nomnotho wakho is after you die. It's in heaven, which is such a lie.
I think that's why I really want to get into those books, like, because I feel like the books and that level of knowledge and understanding gives you a kind of essence of like, you don't give a fuck about the fact that like it's a HP or a Mac or it's a Hisense or an LG. You know,
it's a BMW, it's a Datsun.
To you just understand the fact that it's a product. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like the happiness of it all, is not finding happiness in what you have, but just finding happiness within yourself. And
the key thing when I hear you talking is that the awareness part is when you say within people like who talk like this won't live long. The creation is that deep. You create it. So
you saying that?
Yes, I know. I was just in essence making you acknowledge in that essence. If we've noticed history, about Malcolm X, about Steve Biko, about everyone, every black person who tries to conscientize black people. The energy within itself, in essence, everything to stifle you. But because we know now how the energy works, we know we're going to live above that. We are of the generation of, okay, it's the last time now you take us like this. We have now realized actually what this melanin is all about. We realize now why you work so hard to make sure that we don't actually get there, to realize that. Why you kill us and at 65 you are fine with us, we retire, we are now supposed to die. You take away the essence of man within itself. You take away ubaba wethu summers because baba wethu uyasebenza 24/7 basemasontweni bakuphi iphoyisa uyini ulaplaphi awusamazi baba. Exactly. The dysfunction, the breakdown of the family.
But then if you look at it, that goes again to like the limitation of their reference of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Because within it all, like, even within them things, they're like, you would find yourself spending time at church because that's what you know as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mother,
That's what
her,
you're taught.
Like her mother always had her in church. Now I know other things of the world because it was in my time, like using my time. I used my time to seek out other forms of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So within that, again, it all literally goes back to like what you are exposed to yourself and what you understand yourself. Because for us, we could have this understanding now. And okay, we have this understanding now. We read this knowledge. We acquire the things that we want to acquire within this life. Knowing that now there's like, I don't think it's possible to count literally how many black people there are in the world. But let's say there's an infinite amount of black people in this world. Now, there was something called back in the day called the collective consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what we need for our people to thrive, innit? But individually, that's where now the whole of us will still be there, innit? So that's why I always say now, it's like, okay, what was, you know what I'm saying? The only thing now is the premise of ensuring that going on forward, like, we understand this essence of, okay, it's fine, I can be a rapper and want to have investments in jewelry, but instead of now having my investments in bust down jewelry, I have weighted jewelry. So I know that this is an appreciating asset because now I've literally got 3 kilos of pure gold on my neck, not now 36 grams of gold with some crystals and diamonds and sapphire. You know what I'm saying? It's understanding the things of, okay, clearly school don't teach us about taxes and investments, so I need to teach my people that. You know what I'm saying? I need to teach my people the things of even
investment.
The thing of like, so many kids grow up trying to seek approval from other kids, but knowing like to yourself, like, I don't know if you guys saw this video of that kid that was trending like 2014, 2015 times. He used to get bullied because he used to wear fila and fucked up clothes, but he was so much at peace within himself because he knew, like, bro, like, at the end of the day, I still got a t-shirt on my back and clothes on my bottom. I mean, shorts on my bottom, you know what I'm saying? So you could be dripping in your Gucci, and that's nice, bro. You got your Gucci, but I still got shorts too. You know what I'm saying? So your mindset, your perspective, as you said, governs the way that you see the world, doesn't it? You know what I'm saying? But once now the rest of us and as the totalitarian of like all of us as black people can collectively have this mindset, then we can now like fully go forward. But then the most time you have this mindset, niggas will look at you funny like, are you trying too hard? What 2 1 2 1 2? When it's the thing of like, no one gives a fuck about the race thing, bro. It's the thing of bettering ourselves by literally giving ourselves more knowledge, bro. You know what I'm saying? More information.
I think we clear. But to end it off, like I think about specifically that. There's a quote in one of the books that says the words of wisdom, no, the lips
the lips of wisdom.
The lips of wisdom are, wait, let me put it together. The lips of wisdom are closed unless to the ears of understanding. So what happens is that where you at in your life, you would have a podcast with me so we can discuss it. Yeah, bro. Then from this point is now you're getting channeled. So you can't take just any other nigga that you know
and have such a conversation.
Yeah, bro. They're not there. They don't have the ears of understanding.
You can take the.
They need to get to a certain point before they can hear you. What you think. So ultimately, it is nice to have this outward look at what's it. All of us as black people should be like this. But it's the thing of, you be like this, they will come to you. They will come to you. They will, like everything else. Don't go and get money. Money comes to you. So everything you attract. So with the energy, because there's a lot of people I wouldn't have this conversation with just based off the energy that happens the first interaction. Of the first interaction. All of a sudden your energy I see was okay, then you can't. So ultimately everyone will get in the same boat, but we're not just to make sure that you are maintaining your thing, because there are a lot of distractions out there.
There are. And it's very important to keep that thing, because with energy, like the positive and good energy will always overcome the bad. So we will get to a point where like the collective consciousness is achieved, because whenever there's a good thing, it will always take over. Always.
Like, I can't even lie though. I really need these books because I'm tired of watching these YouTube videos and like having ideas to myself like, what is? And then like I just type it on YouTube, then I watch like a 45-minute documentary. But then like they'll refer to these books and so forth, and it's like, okay, man, where the fuck am I gonna get this book from? You know what I'm saying? But no, it's like because honestly, bro, that level of information, like I feel like that's your success.
Do we not? I think we should do something collectively as we've started this to have this information on like a platform that people can access, because now people can access. You just type in every type of ass you can find, but there's things that literally teach you about upila. It's so hard to get them, so hard to find.
Our podcast on YouTube, bro, and I'm not even stressing, bro. Like people are gonna watch it.
They're gonna see this shit, bro.
5 years, 10 years.
Yazzie, right now, a book I'm reading is actually somebody's journal. I have like 7 journals now, full of information I've been learning about, and I'm pretty sure if someone was to read all of that,
they'd find something. They'd find something from it. That's the plan. That's what information is all about. It's people's experiences that are noted down.
Give your son all your journals.
But it's so unfortunate how we live in a time where now
differently.
everything off of this time now has this whole copyrights, when in actual essence, like, creation demands creation. Like, your idea can spark off something that is so completely different by you, but manje we come at an essence where abantu bayifihla information yabo, bayifihla into abanayo, because bayazi ukuthi okay basaba ukuthi ubani uzoyithatha emese zokwenza ngayo instead of actually like being you. And within this community, the fact that Umiselo made a beat, this beat, I can rap. Bruh, I shouldn't have to have 500,000 just because you are now Pharrell Williams. And you make the same beat. Uthola ukuthi kwalo beat oyithathayo uyenzelwa umfana omncane ofunda grade 11 ongaziwa o underground ozobonakala naye esewubani but uPharrell vele thina sizosesizwe ingoma kabani kalo ola phezulu, but now usuzongicharge 500,000 for something that ngiyangena into an industry. Konke, like every idea and everything that is there. I'm not promoting people to steal people's ideas and intellectual property, no. But if your idea sparks off something within me, that's completely different from lento yenzayo. Why is it that I must suffer? Abanye abantu bangayitholi my art
credits are always like are a must, you know what I'm saying? That's what I've always said. You see, my great grandchildren, I will leave them at the same. I have the same minds. I think honestly, we were probably born in the same womb or something, because the same thing of a blueprint for the kids, fam. I've explained to her my blueprint. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it now because I know the USA government gonna take me out for that shit. I swear, bro, they want to hear that. They are out. But in the sense of like, bro. Shit, there we go again. There's that point gone.
Okay, now it's time for us to wrap up.
Let's wrap this shit up. It's been good. Bye, everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Sign up. Instagram, Feeks100. You know what I'm saying? Pretty struck nigga live.
Conversations.
That was
a great one, bro.
That was a great one, guys.
Great one.
It was very good. Very in depth. The listeners are going to be, they got an earful.
Yeah. You should check out.
I'll check it out myself. I'll check it out myself.
Man, send me those. There's the bloopers, snippets, everything, bruh.
This is gonna be the 11th podcast.
Yeah.
No, this is it's dope, and it's like the one thing I like about it most is it's very comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I like the setup as well. It's very comfortable.
I always wish to have all of those things without the preppy shit, without what. Because I want us to have like before Upeli month August, have like girls here. And we just have a conversation between now and about the gender-based violence. We all just have an opinion of shit. Like tell each other of experiences, tell each other of things that we've gone through.
I don't know if you guys know this group of people on YouTube. They used to do this thing. It was like it was popping, bro, like all over the world. It was called Backchat, where there was basically like 5 guys, 5 girls, either sides, and it's a dashing of opinions. Now they'd go from everything from relationships to clubs, racism, the whole works. That shit popped off differently because of the mere fact of like it's not scripted. You know what I'm saying?
It's very authentic.
You'll get 5 different men with 5 different perspectives on how men should treat women in a relationship.
And
There was
different backgrounds.
same with the women. Some women would validate, no, I can suck 10 dicks if I want to. And then a chick would literally be there like, hold up, wait. And that, you just feel like watching that shit. Because I feel like that's like one of the most like important things with like, especially like your visual podcast as well. It's like, there always has to be an aspect of entertainment. You can't be like too serious with it. You know what I'm saying? There has to be that one thing of people said. As in lawyer tag. Seriously, it's one nigga Biscuit, bro. Like what did he do again? You know how these Ghanaian boys, these Nigerian boys, they're very comfortable with their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like too comfortable. So this nigga's like his mom's making him breakfast. You know what I'm saying? He come in and he hugged his mother from behind. You know what I'm saying? But the way he hugged her, like. Bro, like, I'm talking hands on waist, like, back up, you know, like, spooning, like, it was a bit too, and the whole country were like, yo, Biscuit, bro, like, you don't do it like that. And I must understand, they brought that shit into the show. Bearing in mind, while they're talking about the Grenfell Tower, how the government's corrupt right now, they threw that aspect in because they knew, like, we can't go 25 minutes straight Grenfell Tower. Because some people just gonna be like, okay, you know what, this is too... But the minute that one person and the bitch came and saved it nice, hey yo Biscuit, but hey, I saw the way you held your own bum, fam. See the way you did that? And imagine, bro, the comment section was lit by guy. Because it was a raw question of why are you holding your own bite like that? But you see, this conversation was nice because it was all over the place. Different opinions, and the one thing that I liked though was that we all touched base like on topics that most people wouldn't have the chest to talk about. You know what I'm saying? In real life situations, because they know that, you know what, I think Marie's listening next door. Marie might hear me. And I'm tired of like us as niggas, like living life how white people say the N-word. White people at home, nigga. Turn up, fuck these white people. And then you step outside, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we're not pushing violence. We're just pushing equality, bro, and fairness.
I always say, when you need to say fuck off, you say fuck off. Just because they're white, it doesn't mean lento ukuthi kuzongena umlungu uzothi yabona abantu abamnyama sebeyaqala basukuma batatazela ukuthi faneka asukuma ahlale ngisa bank nonke la. Akufani indaba enafaneka ahlale ufike late naye akami. Umdala wena umuntu omnyama phathi uzosukela ugqonqe ngenxa ukuthi leyo nto is embedded within you. I just want people to actually abantu ba understand, bro. You don't have to conform and bend to these people. These people are actually the liars, the deceitful people. Their cunning is the one thing that I like about them. The cunning and the brilliance of the fact that manipulative.
So if we were to start removing that, then the whole religion shit
will crumble. It will crumble.
But the thing about this self-knowledge is that it just removes it for you. Then you just see a white person. Human,
you just see like
It's another person.
It's just another person. I mean, I don't care for them. I don't what. But in thing is sure, if people, the moment you make me feel as a black person, you think you are higher than me, that's when we have a problem. That's when we have a problem. Spanning. You praise the work, but the moment usubona, because but the moment usubona, the person so yaqala usuthi in actual fact, no, because now you've seen the face.
Bro,
the work was brilliant before you saw the face.
In Durban at the workshop this one time, right? Waiting for my turn in line, like to rest with my niggas. You know what I'm saying? Black people love my people. Bro, there was like a young like black girl, right, in front of me, so it was her turn. So she's about to go in the person leaves steps. A middle-aged white man just like came to her side. You know how white people always do that thing, like they can't see the line. You know what I'm saying? So like, man walked through and said, "Oh, like, are you next?" And what's this one, Auntie? No, it's fine. You can go. Ha! Whoa! To the back.
To the fucking back.
Get the fuck back, bro.
To the fucking
But for her, it was that thing of
conditioning. Wait.
Those things are programmed with subtle things like why Jesus is alive.
Why Jesus is alive.
There's a lot of things.
That's the thing. Tell my friends, those olden day Christian books. This whole Christianity thing is an indoctrination of things. When I was doing my thesis for my honors, I actually realized the fact that when white people came here, there's a Lord Balfour who was part of a crusade. 1652. 1688, they write a letter going back to the queen, telling them, no,
Exactly.
we've
So
walked
once
the length and breadth
over
of these
here,
lands.
once here,
We have not
yeah,
found a beggar, we have not found a thief. We don't know how to infiltrate them because there's nobody ongamthenga ngoba wonke umuntu is content. Abasebenzisa imali, abasebenzisa lutho, so ayikho into engabenza ngayo. What is it that we can do? Devise a formula. 5 years later came the Christian Crusades. Bafika amaKristu, bafika neBhayibheli labo. Ekufikeni kwabo yaqala lapho ke into eyayithe there's a thief, there's a robber, there's a demarcation, khona umuntu owazi imali, khona owazi ivalue yento ukuthi yaqala from that era after the Christian Crusades were here. Because ekufikeni kwawo la they raped, they pilgrimage, they went through our people, they went through black people, babas enslaved, took them back. Christian people bebafaka into boats for them to be shipped off in order for them to be enslaved under the name of Christ. Under the name of Christ, they had the First Testament, which is now called the First Testament. The very same fucking verse, an eye for an eye. Once they had infiltrated us, they conquered. Second Testament now because black people can't realize their power and use the same shit against us. Turn the other cheek. It's the same verse in the Bible, but that's the Old Testament. Now we turn the other cheek. This is what church will tell you. Your heaven and your riches are in heaven, while they live in heaven and earth. Abalambi abomi angani, because they have all the money, they're living in paradises, all the beautiful spots. Paradise is on earth because this is where we were designed to live. So when religion was brought here, it's put when uhlupheke and ukwamukela ukuhlupheka because uNkulunkulu na. Yes, that's what you are conditioned to think. While bona benyuka benotha bedla khona la emhlabeni because bayazi ukuthi the earth was created for ukuthi niphile kuwo. There's no such thing. Like there's no so that's the koalas. Uthi uyasifika 24/7 7 days within a week basesontweni. Ngomsombuluko iyouth akayena nane youth una 45 lo muntu kodwa ula iyouth. Ngolwesibili uBible study, ngolwesithathu elabafazi umuntu wesilisa, ngolwesine ukwelabesilisa, ngolwesithathu ulakabacula akakwazi nokucula. Ukuyikhwa every time taking away from the essence of ukuthi ahlale nomndeni naziwe. Abasekho manje uma bamfundisi benza imisebenzi yakwezinye indawo not knowing ukuthi from the essence Jesus was a carpenter, he had work. Why kholelwa yenye into not ibandla? The very same Bible that Ellen Ndezela and will understand because it's not anything off of your nature. And when you find Christian Indians, they still go to them Samus, bashisa impepho zabo benze yonke into ukuthi baye esontweni. India ngeke ulitshele ngobulona. Ngeke ulitshele lutho and iQuran yinye. Ama Buddha scripture there's one, but there are 738 and counting different versions of the Bible. Because it was never anything innately the truth.
And you call it a good some documentary movie. It describes
ikombisa yonke into. Like for an interesting one, Marco Polo. Like Google that shit, watch that series. There's only one season that was made because the Vatican went to CBS. What lalelanda? Minike naqhubeka nenzo season 2 walento. Kuzonyiwe. Marco Polo Netflix. Check it out on Netflix. Just watch that thing. They allowed the Mongolian and the Chinese take over. But the moment the Christian Crusaders were coming along, season 2. Yavalwa, kwafika the Pope, kwafika the Queen. All of those people got to shut this shit down because the truths of what actually happened in nature. How it is that this religion was taken, distorted what was a history of a certain people. Distorted in order to fix this whole Christianity thing and take you away from your essence and your culture. Because that's the only way. The moment you take him from their culture, I'm going to keep it losing. Every Saturday, stamping on idlos angalazi umuntu owafa wavuka. Kanjani? If you think about it, akalona idlozi uJesu wafa ngani kodwa nithandaza yena ukuze anikhulumele kubani kuJehova. but wena uma wakho kuzala emeke wafa umthandazo ukuthi akukhulumele komkhulu bomkhulu, it's a problem, it's demonic. Bashisa impepho amakatholika, it's holy. Uma ushisa impepho wena, it's demonic. Uhambe wena uyolwandle kuthiwe isangoma in essence of ukuthi the whole Bible itself umukhuluma nge-essence yomuntu. Okay, you want me to believe ukuthi uNkulunkulu waphefumulela a virgin kwakholwa ukuthi okay virgin, we've been having sex, we know you have sex with kids. Wafika lo muntu oshade nalo wazobanjiswa ijazi Joseph akathiwa lalela ngimithi awukazi ushaye kodwa. Okay bafo, alright, okay ngilibambe le jazi khona lengane that is going to be born in a manger. When you look at the time and the climate within the nature, it's not supposed to be snowing because it's summer. If you look at where they were, okay, star, winter, it doesn't make sense. But when you look at the Big Bang Theory, in actual sense, which is something that's aligned with ubuntu bethu thina sabantu, ubunguni bukufundisa lokho ukuthi siqhamuke emanzini. Atom boom into the water, we come from the water. They will tell you no, that does not make sense. How evolution? What the fuck are you talking about? Nani. You have to find out no color. It's science. No color. Because why? Does that not make sense? To fish. From fish we evolved. Sapuma from, because the water now, the earth is coming up. It's getting more depleted. The earths are rising. In an adaptation of ubuntu bethu, we adapted. Sakwazi ukuthi siphefumule on the land. Ephefumuleni on the land, sakwazi ukuthi sibe lento esiyona saguga safa. Uma usubuka umuntu eqinisweni uqala uyini? A sperm, fish. You go, you infiltrate an embryo. You grow in water. You live in water for 9 goddamn months. You live in water. From living in water, boom, boom, isakazeke leyo water. From that essence, we are from into engakwazi ukwenza lutho. Then you get into the essence of you're crawling. You crawl until you are now man. Does that not make more sense than umuntu owamani wayimithela? Wow, boom, phahla, boom. Kwamane, alright, wafika no Moses kwathi okay, we're ending everybody else, but bring a pair of everything so that sophinde siqhubeke from get go, but you'll still put in the snake, the one who's the reason why we are here. Niphinde niyifake futhi emkhumbini, phinde kube khona ezinye inyoka. No, you want us to hate snakes because ithongo lakho lihamba enyokeni. Thina sabantu abamnyama ithongo inyoka. So umugqobo uyishaya, as white people will tell you, ubulala wena inhlanhla zakho zakini. Because ithongo lihamba enyokeni. Abantu bakamajola inyoka ibatshele ukuthi bawobani. Nawe if uthandazile idlozi wabona inyoka egcekeni kusho ukuthi idlozi lakho likuzwile. Understandekile. That is the Nguni culture, Zulu, Xhosa, Sotho banibani. But because of the conditioning to take you away from your essence, bathi ishaya inyoka. Kodwa uma babuka bona babuka lapha ko National Geographic baze baziqabule. Bazi nwa. Ngobani? They know their essence. Babukuda every day because they know amandla ethu are in water. That's why isangoma sangempela umuzibuza ukuthi wayakutshela ukuthi sahlala emanzini kodwa ngifanga. Uthi wahlala emanzini uphikise uhleke uthi hayi uthini manje lo, but izangoma zangaphezulu ukutshela ukuthi no, singene emanzini siyolwandle siyohlala, siyohamba siyokhuluma nogobela bethu bese siphuma sesamathongo sesinikiwe zonke lezi zinto from the water. Unga understand ukuthi baphuma phela kutshela ukuthi saphila ngaphansi kwamanzi, utshela umuntu omaziyo. Why? Because we are beings of the water. We are water. Thina singamanzi. We are nature.
Everything will tie in actually.
Everything.
Because when you think about energy, you think about the ocean. Energy is created from the movement. So imagine how much energy
is in there. And babhukuda phela bafundisa ukubhukuda bebancane kodwa thina sosaba amanzi. Uyacabanga uyasaba ngisho ungena olwandle kuthiwa we ulwandle lizokuthatha wewe mina ngibhukuda kuba nabantu abamnyama, because it's a conditioning that white people taught you because they kept the beautiful places close to the ocean for themselves. Bakufaka wena inland, so you're far away from the ocean. You don't get that rejuvenation. You don't get that spirituality, that life. It's all within that energy. A swim, guys, does so much for you. But we don't realize, a shower, water is the most powerful source of anything and everything. But you won't be told that. Instead, uzonikwa Coca-Cola. It's 12 rand 99 Coca-Cola. Iyaphuma kanjani uthi yabuka amanzi ish. Now 12 rand uthenga Coke.
And what happened with us black people is that our history was not written.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
and
the
then
thing.
they created the whole Jesus shit. It was it lost in translation as well.
Yeah.
Because most of the things they say in the Bible, okay, sharp, but due to translation, they made it
It's
ridiculous.
lost. No, they
No.
lied about facts that black people went through because that whole fucking walking through the ocean, that was Umikayen. That person was from Midwest Africa, of Nigerian descent. Black people, but two Jews.
Yeah.
They have no stories of themselves as white people. Those white people, guys, they are not an original species. They are not an original species. Tina, as black people, we are abokapate, the creation of mankind, because we are the oldest. The melanin is the oldest. Bona, as those people ababekona right now, we have no trace of white people. There's no book that tells us, okay, in essence, since we are the creator of mankind, as Africa, we are black. Black was the first creation. Where do white people come from? Because China, and they have a history. China have a history of okay, sure. Only to find with the samurai, which we knew with all thoughts were Chinese, only to find man in 2020 they were black people. We thought Beethoven was a white person all this time, only to find in 2020 it was the black person. All the things that white people glorify as their creations, they are just great marketers. Bafika marketing, I'm a strategist, the cunning, that manipulation, that's the brilliance of white people. But as creators, as authentic, the people who are there, it's the black that's there. The light bulb, everything, the concept of a glass. They didn't come up with the light bulb. There was a black person. In microwave, udaki, Isbam, China. They just came up with the market. They are so cunning to make you run away from konke oyikona, to imbibe the them that is a nothing. So you or yourself are empty. And kulula ukuthi umuntu ongazazi ukuthi ububa umsweye, whichever way you want them to sway. You take over the mind, everything else is so easy.
We should definitely stop, because when you look at the other white people, because there are a lot of white people, it's just that when you see the shit that they do, especially the newer ones, it's just that healthy eating, exercise, live life, and now we gay as black people now, especially because of this thing of so now he's not trying to do what's in the dad type of thing. So now, even when even the other white people are doing the right things, we think it's a problem. Because when we really look at the black culture, we try to
no, the thing is, ile thing ishoyo nje Lwazi ave kubhlungu ukuthi sizojajana, kodwa ukuthi uGqonqa, lento engisho ukuthi uGqonqa yena akakwazi ukuthi awalk down the street kudayisa lose next door. Khona umama o next door oyiphandelayo naye asimblame, uyayiphantela kodwa uneshipi elingekho lento ukudayisa iplug la. Wena uyintwana na 14 ngeke ungaliplagi, ngeke ungaplagi, ngisho ngathini, ngisho ingane njani, ingane izalwa kwalapha zalintshontsha lelo plug neqiselane la egate niphuze. Utshwala uqala as a culture usemncane, khona amashipi ekhaya. Ucela una 3 years wena ubona abantu bephuza utshwala nanani, uyayitshontsha ichibi kancane. The culture of alcohol is placed upon us so much that you think you grow up liking it, but kanti kahle awubuthandi utshwala, uyisigqila sabo utshwala. Abelungu choose to drink, guys. They choose to drink. It's a choice upon them. It's brought to them as an option.
But where is the circuit of it? Like, does mama open Ishibini because he wants alcohol?
No, because she wants to live. It's easy to tell
I'm saying the demand for it is there first. So what is it that creates this demand?
The demand is this thing that you watch every day. That from prime time television, classic, from 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock. I'm an advert at Johnny Walk, I'm an advert at Corona, I'm an advert at Jameson. How ma? That's the one thing, and that's the time where family viewing. Ingane zihleli ziyabuka. or isikhathi sabo OC nobani bani mina uzokutshela ukuthi bese ngena iJohnny Walker advert uzokutshela ukuthi uzombona kuzokwenza njani yeah wayithatha wayiphuza. It's all these conditionings that engiyibonayo kodwa uma usubuka after 12 kahle kahle sekungena OSEF kungena those educational ones adlale ngo4 ekseni yiphi ingane evukile ngo4 ekseni ngo4 ekseni dlala those gym jam obani ngalesi sikhathi bese esikoleni ngo8 idlala utakalani sesemini ubani obuka utakalani sesemini anto cleaner endlini bona basesikoleni angani mase bebuya esikoleni sebeqedile nani sekushaya o3 o4 sebeyaqala o Heineken sebeyaqala obani it's a culture that's indoctrinated within you fanele ube nakho and you don't, it's a subtle indoctrination, you don't see it, whereas ingane zabo bona they do not watch TV. Jonathan has tennis practice. Jonathan will come from swimming tired as fuck. He's got homework. Jonathan, we've got family time now. Mom and dad are gonna come through because it's a culture where if they are on TV, something an educational game or educational program or what art. Maybe in TV, not to predominantly uma uthisha ubaba ipolice ubaba night shift uyangena umanje bela ukhathela uvithikile from emsebenzini ngiyibuka noma into engifuna ukuyibuka la ka DStv. I'm exposed to Georgie Show, I'm exposed to abantu abazali bami abazilutho ngo block because I live in an era where my parents do not have time to know about technology because into abayizi ukuthi ngivuka ekseni ngiyomelana nalo muntu ozobe engibangela ukushisa the whole day khona ngizosebenza ukuze lama lights angabe bikho nasi school fees saba nangu ngifuna iteko hawe makade kade njani yazi ubani ekhaya fanele ngithenga ighosi uma kade ngitshelile kushona umali umthemba. All of these things in one mind, going through one mind, when Jonathan's dad knows ukuthi he's the captain of industry. Ubaba wakho nobaba wami abamsebenzelayo laba bangekho thina ekhaya while yena ekubuka while you doing your rugby practice mase kuthiwa why people have the formula. He's there at rugby practice because our dads are working as his fiscal power. He's the CEO. He has time to say, no, I'm going to go into the meeting. He works hard, yes, but he has time to schedule. Mary, from 1 o'clock to 1:30, I'm not available. Everything will conform to my schedule because why? I have the ability to. My father's a farmer. I own the farms. Jobona Abelungu own 85% official yomhlaba South Africa. Kodwa they make up 1%. Umfama. Mina ubaba wami ukuphi ulapha emasimini emebuya ukhathela uvithikile amasimba akanasikhathi sokuzwa indaba yokuthi I got an A in class because I'm brilliant at maths. He has no time to hear that because ukhathele kubhlungu ngisho izandla ukuhlakula umoya.
Yeah, it starts with us though. We see that.
We see it.
We must apply.
We need to kill it.
Apply.
We need to kill all of those mentalities. Oh, it's sad, bruh. But I know we are going to be the generation that's going to start this, but our grandchildren's grandchildren are going to reap the benefits of it. Tina society, we won't see it. We will start the foundations too, but we won't see it. Because we still live amongst the nation of people where bonagele. About the eras of abantu abaphile in the 60s, 70s and 80s bephila sebebadala. Thina sizalwe ngama 80s ngama 90s namabanibani sesiza ngala laba baphile ngaleyo era basaphila namanje they are so damaged. So damaged.
Nakona the thing is that as we are trying to get to the awakening, the other party is still working as well.
Yes.
So yeah. I mean, sadly, I look at Jordan 99, and I feel it's so sad. Like, it's terrible.
Yeah. All programming, not just to Jola 99, or Scandal, or Olivia Pope, all these, or Empire, or Ban, all these programs that show you degenerative black families, black family units, making other black people think in order to have power, in order to be successful, I have to sell drugs, I have to be backstabbing, I have to be manipulative. And all the programming, njengama Cosby's, all those programmings that showed a family unit, our Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, ayifunakali lawo programming because that's not the mandate. CBS does not have that mandate. Fox does not have that mandate. Bonke abantu bazopromote, ubona ama-actresses manje bayashine how to get away with murder. All these programs that we are watching, teaching us what? Teaching us what? No, baby, nothing. Ngimtshela ukuthi yabo le programming, yabo le mpahla lele PlayStation. That is the death of all nations, including ukufa kwesilisa nabafana. Number one, imbulala into exercise. Ubabone manje how overweight children are because kham ukugibela isihlahla kasakwazi when ukwabheka ungakhomba manje ngangikwabhekela ngigibela ibhayisekile ngangenze because you were active children. You knew ukuthi i-exercise was part of into eniyona. Manje ziku PlayStation zisemafonini. Uthi ingane uyitshela ukuthi hey umfana meka kuthinta uzomitha. It's shut the fuck up. It's a Google. It's see, this is what I need to do. Yabo? So we cannot now. I did biology, guys. But utisha wami ayengitshele yona did not supersede what my mother taught me. Umfana meka kubuka wakuthinta in another way besides wanting to either asebenze nawe eklasini nikwazi ukuthi niphase lento eshiyo uthisha noma nizofundisana into ezonakha njengabantu uzomitha. Baba ibhayo ngangi a student, I can name you the bones till today ngaphasa ngaka matric. Umfana nje meka ngithinta any other way. I lost my virginity at 23 because that shit was embedded in my brain. Now we cannot do these things to prevent our children from doing stupid things because of this technology that is supposed to what? Better us, enlighten us. There's ways in which we can use this technology to better ourselves, but its prevalence is so negative. It is so negative because uzothi uyamblocker la ku TV angene ku cell phone. Babuka ama porn, babuka zonke lezi zinto. Honestly, babuka zonke lezi zinto at the age of 11. Into engiyibonayo from kids. Mina I've got a cousin wami untombazana una 13. She's having sex, guys. Ngina 13 ngangicollect amathezo. Ama ships. I remember myself. Ngijahe Dragon Ball Z. Ukuthi maka show past 4. Ha baba. Ngiphambi kwe TV already amasokisi asewashiwe sengipolishile yonke into secret. Ayikho into mangaza lokho engibuzayo isicefe. Yonke into secret. So isikhathi umfana kwakuyischeme sami. But manje because they have these cell phones where Nicki Minaj twerk kanje. We're not going to blame them for wanting to twerk like Nicki Minaj because this is the status quo of people telling them this is right. This is something you watch every day. There is nothing. It's just an expression. It's YOLO. You do you. These slogans that come with these people in order to deteriorate us from being leyanto ene moral fiber, that core essence of us as abantu. Mase ingane zethu uthi ayifica manje kuyimanje kufanele siyishaye ingane zethu. It's law. Do you understand mina ukuthi ngibonga kanjani ukuthi ngashawa? As much as when I was a child, now looking at my fuck this, I want to grow up so they can stop hitting me. But I am so thankful my mother fucked the fucking shit out of me. Because there are so many things I didn't do because of that shit. Hey, you don't know. This part, ola. Uchola ngaqala sengiqede ngi-degree, ngenze honors, phuza utshwala ngoba ngangazi kahle ukuthi ngobola induku. And it didn't occur to me ukuthi ngibuzame. Ngaya varsity baphuza phambi kwami abantu, ngiye emaphathini. I'm there for the music, I'm there for the dancing, not for the alcohol. It wasn't something that was a story to me. Utshwala I chose to drink. And when I chose to drink, I knew how to drink. It wasn't an essence uzofika umfana la ngihlala ngebhodlela le Russian Bay into engangibuka yenzeka phambi kwami bafika bafana nama Russian Bay awu2 nama Smirnoff amantombazana ahlanye. Next thing there's sex, there's all of these things. Get Russian Bay ngicabanga manje uthi yibo mina ngisho ngangithengela icasket baba le Johnny Walker la sinambo 90 years into ezongikhosta 150,000 manje uhleli la ayikho into ezokwenza ukuthi ngidunuse manje ngidunisele wena. If I don't vibe with you, I don't vibe with you. So you cannot coalesce me into doing things that are outside of myself just because I come from an ignorant place of not knowing. If black parents were so comfortable of speaking about sex, there's so many things that would just be so prevented. But now, because we are conditioned with you are scared to go ask your mom what ma umfana mesenza kanje kusuke sekwenzeke njani akuchazele umzali wakho uthi hey baba.
Because even in the mindset, it's all counterintuitive. Like, even my dad, like, I never got it. Growing up, nigga would be like, yo, kid, like, I ain't trying to hear shit, you know what I'm saying, until the day you get married. So where am I supposed to learn how to date from, how to understand women? That's the problem with like that, is like the access of or the level of understanding that they don't want to know. Like with me, I've always said in my household, not that I'm gonna let my children date, you know what I'm saying, but in the sense of they need to understand the social aspects of dating too. Like the whole fact of I'm not going to dog, you know what I'm saying? But if now you've never been in a relationship, let's say kids put Anna's example, when you start dating in your 20s and shit, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot that, thankfully she had a mother who raised her to see things. But let's say you had a parent who wasn't involved at all, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get your heart broken so many times to the point where you probably become them people, like a lot of women like who become dependent on like shit like sex, you know what I'm saying? Or even niggas who become like emotionally weak to women, you know what I'm saying? Nigga can't say no to a bitch, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that parents could have prevented, but it's in that like our not our culture, but we've been conditioned that we don't talk about that shit, you know what I'm saying?
You don't talk about that shit.
I think that ultimately the evolution continues. So we're still
gonna get there,
we're
like,
still getting it.
and especially because the interesting thing is we're the same souls.
So exactly. Mina bangibiza ngomangeme ekhaya because that's my grandma's mom. But I do things like her, even the whole essence of at home. Just like my mom, when my mom died, I saw how everyone just retracted back to their own space. My mom was that person to call everybody together. Every year, find out what we are doing. She's always calling this person. She's always in touch with everybody. Ever since my mom left, I don't know how it happened, but I'm now that person. I don't know how it is. I didn't actively say, okay, listen, I'm now taking over this role. It just happened within an essence. And then now I realize this is what people are talking about people's energies and how it is that you are just an old soul reincarnated to come back to correct the mistakes of something else until you ascend into the place where yonke into yakho isigrand konke sekusharp usuyilungise yonke into yakho. And history keeps on repeating itself. History just repeats itself up until now figure la usuthi okay, now I'm acknowledging that lento repeatayo iwumkhokha intembi. So I'm just nipping it out of the bud
and change that.
Let me change it.
It's really a thing to look into.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, it's insane, G. It's insane. But as black people, I think we're gonna realize our power. I can't wait for the time where you see a black kid and they raw fine with just being there, like especially black girls. It's so sad. Like they're growing up in an era where these bodies of, I call them, I hate myself bodies. Like you injecting shit into your lips, you putting shit into your bums, you're putting this, and you are literally going to a doctor, paying them hard-earned money for them to take away the color that will literally grow back because God created your skin as this. You bleaching yourself in order to look like something you are not. I'm so scared of having children, guys, mainly because of that shit. Like, I don't know what I'd do if I would give birth to a beautiful black ass baby girl or baby boy who wants to go and not be black.
Yeah, it's the teachings though. Like as much as your mother had the power to make you the person you are. Your household she taught you to be this way. So you can still do that as much as it's a crazy world like this, but you can teach your kids the right things.
Yeah, we can.
And that's how things should be moving forward.
Yeah, but the sad part is we as parents spend less time than they do at school. Most of the time it's taken over at school. That's why they imbibe their friends' mentality yakubo afike la sayagolozela la azashawe nje la ekhaya ngoba nakho usuke se act outside of into ayifundiswe la endlini. And more time often than not they'd like to keep the mentalities of lezi zinto engcolile abayifunda eceleni ngokuthi alandele umkhakha wakho up until semdala seyarealize amaphutha. But while you're going through this abanye don't make it ashone sasemncane because ubona ukuthi kungcono ukuthi ahambe ayohlala ngale kabantu bani ngoba abanawo umthetho wokulawula ukuthi okay ngo6 la ekhaya kuyathandazwa ngobani bani kanjani akakwazi ukuphila ngomthetho wakho because wena engathi okwakho engathi kuronga strict kakhulu wena. I mean, I thought about that, like my parents. The first party I ever went to was my matric dance after party. And it was that party that showed me why my parents don't want me to go to parties. And I thank God from that experience. To an extent, wherever I sit, the only parties you'd ever find me at were during the day, those social, kufike uban banabotira, naboban ban, kuma career day, uban ban, okay, namhlanje. But it's so good to be a party. That never happened up until I finished my first degree. Because what happened with matric dance after party, traumatized me so much. I was like, okay, if I had stayed home and just listened to my mom, I was never going to be exposed to this. I saw people die. Mainly because of attitude, ingane, zidagiwe, kufika abantu abafana basegama lakhe who are a bit older, waqala kwakwazwana. If I just went home, none of this, I appreciated my parents and I hated myself for harboring land because and I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do all of these funny things up until later in life, which is what I feel like I want my kids to go through as well, because at that time nobody could tell me about these things. I was of an age where you could not force it upon me to use it to manipulate me to do something that I did not want to do.
You fully understood it.
I fully understood. But at 15, 16, what do you understand about alcohol? 11 guys slept with you, don't even remember what happened. Bro. Oh, it's a hard knock life we live, G. Oh, it's a hard knock life.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, fam. Yo, it's a lot.
Tomorrow is Friday.
Uzale ingane uyizalele uthisha uzofika sezoyithinta esikoleni awazi lutho. When are you working, you're hustling, you're doing everything. Khona lo thisha okumolestela ingane nje esikoleni.
She can't even tell you.
Yeah.
You're hardly there.
You're hardly there. And every time you try to bring up something, it's stress sasemsebenzini seboss yakho ekunyelayo. So useyazi ukuthi ungamthinti uma uhleze stressed.
Hey, it's rough.
Ah, bruh.
But okay, it must change.
It will change. Yo, it will change. Yo, it will change. I'm planning on it. I'm planning on it.
Niggas.
Guys, we're out. We're so Pamela.
Beach.
Okay.
Yeah. On a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, I'm doing a cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Great shoot, guys. Great to meet you guys, but I definitely need to do this shit. Sit down and just fucking talk. Proper mind. Wait. Why were you hiding these niggas for so long?
Yeah, like, honestly, guys.
Selfish,
Need to chill and just, bro. There's so many things, and I like brilliant minds. Outside of conditioning, I can't stand. Umuntu ozothutha amana khulume kumane kuphuma amasiko. Ooh, lapho the loudest. They make the loudest noise.
Talking shit.
Our politicians.
Definitely should.
Your deputy president. What is the fourth industrial revolution? Owazi. Ufunani lapho ngabona ngamaphilisi egout nibadala retire. Everybody else must retire at 60. Bona asala baze babe na 90.
Alright, bro. Take care, bro. Sharp.
Obviously, got to a point where it wasn't recording. Shit. But it was fire.
That's fine. Shit, why am I so hungry?
You're hungry?
Ha.
Yes. I'm not hungry. I'm going to put on once. I just need like 2 slices.
2 slices of hunger.
Just a banana.
Hey, who went
I'm sure.
Aye, boo, we have a big in. Probably busy doing some shit. Cool, man. Right, bring that. Righty. Lungile. Since we're here, might as well break these insane.
I make my music for myself, but I also take into consideration that there's a lot of kids.
Right?
Hey, it's a cool room, yes?
Ever cool, man. Continue excited. It had bread and apple. It's a third ingredient in the cooking.
All damages.
Those are my magic.
What's a banana?
I got bananas. I got cool this one. I got cool this one. So one man. It's in Padam Boys.
Hey.
I wish I just was a little too on. Yamchacha. Oh, fish, like I'm a banana, please.
Shoot before I